Hey friends and family, thanks for tuning in to tonight's Thursday Night Thought. Tonight we're going to talk about what it means to stay in a place of possibility. All things are possible. What does this even mean? So the message I got this week is this. Stop looking at your past to determine your future. Just because something has not been done doesn't mean it isn't possible. Stay in the possible. Stay in the present. Ask for this guidance, and you shall receive. So when I asked for this guidance, I was led back to a place where I didn't believe that something was possible. And I feel that there's benefit in going back to this place. So is there something in your life where you didn't feel like something was possible? Or perhaps you are in a place right now where you don't feel like something is possible. We're going to walk through this journey of my journal from 2006 and how it is that I got to a place of possibility and what this really means. So in 2006, all I wanted was a baby. My husband and I had just gotten married, and I wanted to give him this gift, and I couldn't get pregnant. In fact, we tried getting pregnant and I lost the baby. Just one thing after another was going on in our lives, crises, health issues, whatever it might be. And it was so disheartening. When you're in a place of feeling like something isn't possible, it is dark. So in my journal, I wrote about it. And there were two things that I wrote about. Number one, I wrote about why I didn't feel that it was possible. So write down for you why either you didn't feel it was possible or don't feel that what you desire is possible. Okay? Write that down. For me, it's because I had this belief that because I had gotten a divorce, that's why I couldn't get pregnant. There was this condemnation aspect to this false belief. And obviously easy to see that it's not real. It was a belief, but it was holding me in bondage. It made me feel like that's why I couldn't get what I desired. I couldn't get pregnant because I was being condemned. I was separate of God. I didn't deserve the blessing because of something I had done in my past. Write that down, whatever that is for you. And then I was asked, why do I want it? Why do I want to have the baby? Let's really get to the core of why it is I wanted to get pregnant. And the reason I wanted to get pregnant, obviously there was the fluff of, oh, I want to give my husband a baby. I can't, I want to hold the baby together. But when you really got to the undercore of why I wanted to have a baby, the truth is I felt like our relationship wasn't going to last without it. And the reason is because he had had a baby with another woman, and I saw the bond that they had. I saw how beautiful that is, and I wanted that for our own relationship. There was jealousy, there was insecurity there. There was this feeling of that I wasn't enough unless I had a child. And it was a really dark place to be in. But because I went there and I answered those two questions, and you can go there right now and answer those two questions, I realized that was only going to keep me in a place of bondage. That was not going to keep me in a place of possibility. It kept me feeling like it would never happen because of those things. So why? The reason why is because my ego, number one, was attached to the experience. I didn't believe I was worthy unless fill in the blank. I didn't have a baby. I wasn't married. I got a divorce. None of those things determine my self-worth. None of those things, none of those experiences, none of those choices that you've made determines your self-worth. The moment I realized that, my worthiness came back as a woman. The second thing I had to do is I had to redeem my past. And that's what I did in my journal. I actually went back and I looked at that belief that I had created, or that was tied to me, or that was attached to me, that was causing pain, that, like we talked about last week. And I had to look at that and say, where did that belief stem from? How is that even real? Like, I believe God is with me now. And I wrote about that experience, and I redeemed my own past so that it didn't keep me from moving forward. And do you know that within 2 months of doing those two things, I got pregnant? I believe it's because by dropping my ego and by redeeming my past in the present moment, it opened up a space of possibility. And why is that? Because I was no longer attached to it. I had given it to God, who I believe is the source of all possibility. Because at that point, I didn't have to have that to make myself feel worthy. I had come to a place in my life where I believed that if my husband did decide to leave me because I couldn't have a baby, it didn't have any effect on my worthiness. That if I couldn't have a child, that I wasn't worthy, that I wasn't valuable. It didn't have effect on me. Because God would have another opportunity. Something else would open up. And when we can come to that place in our lives where we separate ourselves from what it is that we desire, that is living in a place of possibility. Because we're no longer attached to it. Our past is no longer attached to it. Do you feel that? So how awesome that we can get in this place at any time, and it's a gift that we can give ourselves in the present moment. We have free will. Give yourself that gift. And it's something that we can stay in. And the way I stayed in it over those 2 months, when I look back on my journal, is I gave myself gifts. I talked to myself kindly. I didn't allow those thoughts to control me. I ended up really writing a letter to myself and redeeming my past continuously by knowing that it wasn't controlling me in that present moment. And I stepped into my relationship. I stepped back into it because I wasn't feeling unworthy. I stepped back and gave to my husband and loved him, which I wasn't doing when I wasn't feeling that. So by doing those things, it allowed me to get my mind on the present moment where good things were happening and I was feeling my worthiness, and ta-da, I got pregnant. So where is it you can let go of something in your life right now that you're tying maybe your worthiness to? Because it's not tied to whatever it is you desire. It's tied to the present moment. It's the only place we can find it. And we give ourselves that gift. And if you want to go back and use those two tools and listen to this video again and walk through that process, I can guarantee you can find that place of possibility and live there in a state of gratitude and love. And I really believe that's what it is love. Love is all possibility, and God is love. So there you go. I hope this encourages and inspires you this week, and I look forward to sharing our next Thursday Night Thought together.